All right, everyone, welcome to our first professional learning lunch and learn. I am here today with Florence Bowser to talk about awesome collaboration they have going on with Canvas. So at this time, I will turn it over for you all to introduce yourselves.
I apologize. I couldn't get my mic unmuted. Good morning. I am Mrs. Griffin, the building principal for Florence Bowser Elementary School.
Good morning. I am Mrs. Kintelow, the kindergarten grade level chair at Florence Bowser.
Good morning. I'm Quatisha Young, second grade teacher here at Florence Bowser.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. So to start us off, if you could please share a little bit about your idea and how you came up with it.
So I'll start there. At Florence Bowser, Ms. Griffin does a really great job of fostering a family-like environment where we all work very collaboratively together. And I'm very fortunate to work on a team of amazing kindergarten teachers that are always looking for ideas and ways to make our jobs easier and our lives a little less stressful, especially now in this virtual learning environment. So we came up with an idea of collaboratively planning like we typically do in a normal school year, but how could we make it a little easier and a little less stressful with the virtual world? So we set out to figure out how could we make that work with the Canvas platform. And so I went to where everybody goes when you need some help and you don't know what to do, you go to Google. So I went to Google and started searching things. I found some information in the Canvas Commons, some group chats of different things that on the Canvas community board, where people had decided to try to do like a team sandbox and work together so that you could build and you could drop resources, build modules and things like that into a sandbox that everybody's working in. And then from there, you just share it out to your individual courses. Makes life a little easier, a little quicker to plan. So I got with technology and Miss Griffin and then Mrs. Culp got on our team there and helped us get it set up so that we could move forward to start planning for our second 9 weeks that way.
And pretty much for second grade, we're doing the same thing. We have our second grade Canvas sandbox. And from there, we do a skeleton each week where we break it down of what we're going to cover for the week, such as reading, math, and then science. Each person on the team contribute to the sandbox. So for example, me and another second grade teacher, we're doing reading. So we will upload things into the reading section part of it. The other two ladies will do the math. And then we have another teammate that's doing science and social studies. From there, we put all necessary materials that we're going to need for the week. Any pre-recorded lesson plans that need to be done, we'll type in there when you do your pre-recorded lesson, what type of things that you need to include in your recorded lesson to make sure we're covering all of the SOLs. We also do the prerequisites while we're in the sandbox. So that way, if we know that the students need to hit submit or mark it's done, all that is done in the sandbox as well as due dates. So from there, we all just go to the sandbox and we'll copy it over into our personal sandbox and then add the LTIs as needed.
And I'll jump in and say, this is the reason. They just showed you exactly why and told you exactly why we went to something like this. We are a collaborative staff. They are used to working together. They are used to the teamwork aspect. And so to be able to continue the teamwork aspect, it was important for us to find a way to do that. And Ms. Kinchelow came up with the idea. The other teachers also had been asking. She did the legwork. We all pulled it together. They asked for permission. We jumped on board. All of us as a building jumped on board. We happened to be having our leadership team meeting. Chelsea, you're a part of that. Dr. Culp, you stepped right in and said, hey, we're going to see what we can do with this. So, but collaboration is important for us as a part of our team. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. That's so great to hear, and definitely an awesome example of collaboration for others to be able to model. So my next question for you is, what are some ways that you see yourself using this moving forward?
So in kindergarten, we're going to do exactly what Miss Young described. We're going to basically think about what is our end and goal in mind, and then build the modules backwards from there, deciding what student outcomes we're looking for, what resources support those outcomes, and then build the module with that end goal in mind, and then share it out to the teachers.
And just as we spoke about earlier in the virtual meeting, we're going to make sure that our modules are consistent so the students and the parents know each week what it's going to look like. So we try to keep everything going the same way each week.
From the administrative aspect of it, what we're going to do is continue to be a part of the team, continue to monitor, and just continue to make sure where we need to continue to grow. That's what we'll be looking for, ways that we can continue to build upon what we've started, develop and continue to make the system work even better.
Great. So my final question for you is, what recommendations do you have for your Suffolk Public School colleagues regarding this, and any final thoughts that you may have?
I would say definitely getting on that team planning and collaborative work mindset, taking the workload off of yourselves. We all know that virtual learning, teaching is already a lot of work. Virtual learning and planning has compounded that workload tremendously. So anything that you can do in order to kind of share the workload and work together is always my suggestion.
I totally agree. Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. It will make our lives so much easier. And the good thing about this virtual thing, we're all able to be apart but together. And as a wise person said to me earlier today, even though you have your teammates helping build the module, it's very important that we go through the module to make sure that this is meeting the needs of our specific students.
And I think I will say is it's important, of course, to have the support of your colleagues and use your resources. Go to not only your team if you are used to your team and you may not be finding the answer there. There's a wealth of resources all throughout the building. The one thing that I can say for Florence Bowser Elementary School is that teachers from every grade level know if they need a question answered, they can go to Ms. Kinchelow, they can go to Ms. Young. They may not be on the second grade level, but they will go to Ms. Young, they'll go to Ms. Kinchelow, but they'll go to any of their colleagues along in the building, not just along, but in the building, anywhere that they need the level of support. They'll reach out for it. And I think that's important. But also remember, your administrators are there to support you as well. We may not have all of the answers, but we do have where we can go and look for some answers. So I may not have all the answers, but I know how to reach out to Dr. Culp. I know how to reach out to Dr. Davenport. I know how to reach out to so many other resources that we have in our district, and we will utilize those. And so we may not, Ms. Riddick and myself may not have all of the answers as the building administrators, but we do know where to use our resources, find it. So reach out to us as well.
Wonderful. Well, I can't thank you all enough for your time. I am so excited to be able to share this with our colleagues, and thanks again for joining us.